Hey everybody, Tina Brigley here. Happy Monday. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. So I guess I'll start at the beginning. As many of you know, in the summertime, I took a personal development seminar called the Landmark Forum. And in this personal development seminar, I learned a lot about myself, about things that I did, about things that I'm really good at. And it was a really great experience. And when I left that experience, I felt empowered. I felt like I could really make a difference in this world. So I thought. so I thought. So after August, I continued to do these seminars and continued to practice, and it was a really great experience for me. And I felt really invigorated and empowered. And this weekend, I took the advanced course. And what I experienced in the advanced course is seriously life-changing for me. Because in my business, in my life, I was still grappling with things. I was still making things about me. And that's the big difference that I experienced this weekend. My personal transformation is actually not about me. Me going through this process is about you, each and every one of you that are in my circle, that I can impact. I was worried about building my business and getting clients and what I'm going to do and how I'm going to look good and how I'm going to avoid looking bad. I realized this weekend, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. All I need to do is show up for everybody. I'm going to share something very personal with you to really express what happened to me. So through this coaching process, and let me tell you, it was 48 hours over three days. So that's pretty intense. Think about what it would be like to have 48 hours of seeing a psychologist or seeing a therapist or seeing a coach. It's incredible. It's very, very intense. So the first question is, what was your first experience of failure? And I thought it was kind of a strange question. Like, what do you mean failure? An experience that I had that I saw that as a failure. And I can clearly identify that moment in my life. I went on vacation with my dad to Calgary to visit my aunt and uncle. I had never met them before. There's pictures of me with buffalo in the background. I'm wearing a cowboy hat. It was a great, great time. My dad wanted to go out with my uncle. And I begged and I cried and I did not want him to leave. That feeling for me, that emotion for me was abandonment and scared and all those feelings that were just terrible for me. My dad took me on vacation on an airplane and now he's leaving me here with these strangers that I don't know, that I don't trust. So my dad walked out the door and I was screaming and I was crying and I could not stop him from leaving. So for me as a 3-year-old, that was a failure. I could not get my dad to stay. So what happened in that moment of failure as a 3-year-old, if I could shout out something to my dad, it would be, listen to me, don't leave, I'm scared. And you know what? That one experience created who I am today. And I see how that shows up in my life, in my business, every single day. But I didn't know that this was happening. Listen to me. Okay, what happened? I was a teacher. I felt like I didn't have a voice. I felt like I wasn't making a difference. What did I do? I quit teaching. Who does that? People are like, why would you do that? I quit teaching to find a job where people are forced to listen to me. They don't have a choice. They're paying me to listen to me. That is a good thing for me. That worked out for me, but I don't know. Our job that we create is based on this experience, that experience of failure. And what happens is we develop these things, this who we are based on that. And when we're interacting with people, that shows up too. So how did I interact with people? I didn't trust people. I didn't trust anybody. I lived my life being kind of alone because I couldn't open myself up to trust. Because I learned when I was 3, you can't trust people. Now, in my adult mind, does that make sense? No. But do we know this? No, we don't know this. This is what I learned. That I have this act, this wall, this facade, that I need to be strong, that I can't be vulnerable. For God's sakes, this showed up with some of my clients that left my program. What did I do? I chased them, just like I did when I was a 3-year-old. Please come back. What did I do? It's not my fault. Like, listen to me. I didn't know it at the time. All I knew is that there is something not right with how I was feeling inside. It's because I was reliving that exact moment. I was reliving my 3-year-old. And I live my life like a 3-year-old, where I try and keep the peace. I want people to stay. If I get a threat that people are going to leave, sometimes I'll walk out the door first. I did that in my marriage. When things aren't safe, when things aren't feeling right, when I don't have a voice, when I feel like I don't have a voice, what do? I run. That was my thing. Now, opening myself up to you, does that make me vulnerable and not safe? Could you be passing judgment on me and think I'm a whack job and I drank the Kool-Aid this weekend? Yeah. But you know what? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, because that could be part of your act. Maybe you have similar things that you struggle with, but you don't know why you struggle with. Why maybe you feel like you have to always be right. Why you feel like you always have to play the power role in every situation. Why you have a screw you attitude. Maybe it's because something happened to you, your first failure, something that you remember. Maybe that experience, like mine, created who you are. And to me, this all unraveled because even through the Landmark Forum, I learned to deal with the voices in my head, the voices telling me I'm not good enough, that people are leaving you because you're doing a bad job, and taking all those things personally. I still grappled with that a little bit. I mean, not a lot. I could get over it a lot quicker than I could in the past. But now I really understand I don't need ever to listen to those voices. I don't need to listen to that thought in my head that says, oh, this isn't safe, you need to run away. I don't, and I won't. Now, somebody said to me, part of this process is enrolling others in this possibility that you can really, truly learn to understand yourself and how you interact with people. What does this mean? This means that in your business, you recognize how you relate to clients. You recognize how you relate to failure. In your marriage, you recognize how you're relating to your partner. You recognize who you are in this world. And then you can decide if that's working for you. It wasn't working for me. But I didn't know it wasn't working for me because we know the tip of the iceberg. We don't know what's underneath all the onions. When we peel back those layers, we do not know what's underneath those layers. So somebody said to me, well, do you get a kickback from getting people to go to the Landmark Forum, to the advanced course? Yes. Yes, I do get a kickback. You know what my kickback is? I get to see marriages succeed. I get to see businesses thrive. I get to see leaders empowering other leaders. I get to see parents who are not about themselves anymore and showing up for their kids instead of hiding behind their kids. That's the kickback that I get to see. I get to see my world where people aren't about themselves. that people give more about other people, care more about other people than they care about themselves, than they care about looking bad, than they care about all the voices in their head. That's the kickback. Can you imagine a world like that where we could actually communicate with each other instead of listening to respond? Can you imagine a world where we truly love each other and we're in networking events and networking groups and we are trying to build other people instead of just building ourselves? Can you imagine? If all of us were like the Gandhis and the Martin Luther Kings in this world, can you imagine what our world would be like? That's my kickback. That's what I get out of this. Because I realized one valuable lesson this weekend. This is not about me. Me and my business was never about me. It was about helping other people get out of the ruts that they're in. Helping other people see. And part of me, I think, felt like a fraud because there was things that I couldn't see. There was things that I was grappling with when I was with a client that was very resistant. And I was like thinking that that was my personal, if there was something about me. Now I know that's not. That's their act. That's how they show up. And that's okay. But I don't need to take that personally. I need to get on their map. And that's what this is all about. And that's what my weekend did for me. And when I first started my business, the first two clients that I had, and you know who you are, you took a chance on me because I didn't have any testimonials. I didn't have anybody saying, Tina's amazing. All I had was a vision that I could help somebody, and they took a risk. And now their lives are changed because I took that chance and they took that chance on me. And I want them to have that impact on somebody else. So I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. But I needed to share this with you. Because if one person resonates with this, if one person gets value in this, then I just created a ripple effect. And I want you to create a ripple effect. I want you to be a change maker. I want you to write that book that you've been waiting to write. I want you to take that course that you've been waiting to take. I want you to be the change you want to see in this world. And I want you to know how to do that in an effective way. Why? Because I love you. Each and every one of you. I truly do. Thank you, June. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, Nicole, you know, you're that one person for me that took a chance. And I am forever, ever grateful because if you didn't, I would not be where I am here today without you. I didn't acknowledge that before, but I'm acknowledging it now. We are all connected. We are all connected. We are just little peas in this great big universe. We're little stones. But what happens when you throw a stone into a river? It ripples. My vision, what I want out of this whole experience is I am the possibility that people can live healthy and empowered lives. That's what I want to do. Not for me. I don't want to build my business. I want people to be healthy and empowered. And that's my goal. What's your vision? What's your possibility that you want to create? Tuesday is the last night of my seminar. And one of the forum leaders said, Tina, who are you bringing? Who are your people? You are my people. You are who I want to bring. Not because you need to be fixed, because you're a change maker. Because you are going to ripple and create a world that I want to live in. a world where we love each other and we're not afraid of each other and we're not going to knock each other down to build ourselves up. And we're not going to blow out somebody else's candle to make ours burn brighter. Where we're really going to embody what it means to be a human being, what it means to have each other's back. And that is my mission for you guys. I want your back. If you want to experience what I experienced, I encourage you to join me on Tuesday night. Please send me a personal message. We can all meet someplace and we'll all go together. This is about your life. This is about your family. This is about your community. This is about your world. And how do you want to live in this world? I love you guys. Have an amazing day and keep being you. And know this, you never know the impact that you have on somebody's life. Even if it's a smile, even if it's a little note, even if it's acknowledgement, even if it's asking somebody, are you okay today? You have no idea. And I know I'm rambling right now, but I do want to share one other experience. I called my superintendent of special education during my seminar because 13 years ago, she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And she said to me, she wrote a card and she said, Tina, I see you as being a leader in the area of special education. I didn't want to teach in special education. I didn't want to do that. It was because of her card that I continued in special education and got my special education. I can't even think about it right now, but I advanced in special education and I did become a leader in that. And I had to acknowledge her for that because she didn't realize that one card changed my life. And maybe being in that field gave me the strength and courage to do what I'm doing now. So don't underestimate the power that you have. I love you guys. Have a great, wonderful day. Private message me if you're interested in coming on Tuesday. I don't get a kickback, but I do get to see you transform your life. And to me, that's invaluable. Mwah! Love you. Bye.